Hello and welcome to another informative episode of Galaxy Social Trends. My name is Zola Gasholwana. Now, if you're joining us for the first time, this is a show where we get to unpack all the trending stories on social media. Talk about your Twitter trends, talking about your Facebook hashtags, and also whatever that's happening on Instagram. We have the information for you here on Galaxy Social Trends. And obviously today, before I introduce Kat, because he's looking at me right now like, Zola, what are you giving me a chance to speak? We have a special edition of Galaxy Social Trends where we invite an artist to come and join us in studio. We'll get to interview him towards the end of the show, and he'll also get to perform for us. Kat, now you can introduce yourself.
Oh wow, thank you. The show's even about to end and Zola just kissing me. I'm Kataya Romahambanya, shout out to you. I'm greetings for everyone around the continent, Nigeria, Tanzania, Sudan, Somalia, whoever you're watching, wherever you're from. Welcome to the show.
All right, as usual, we update you with the latest COVID-19 stats.
And we also give you Ramaphosa announcing the school closure. Public schools are actually being closed right now.
And remember, there was a video that was trending on Twitter just a few days ago, a video that a lot of people found quite disturbing. Now, a Boo's toddler's mother was actually granted bail today, but we'll tell you more of the story, or rather about the story, as Galaxy Social Trends continues.
We'll also be telling you about refuse workers. They're just fed up. They just want to get paid. Some who affiliated workers were actually like down tools and they burned trucks, and it's just a whole lot of chaos in Pretoria, Tshwane CBD.
Certainly, and towards the end of the show, like I said, it's a Friday, so that means we have an upcoming artist actually joining us here in our studios on Galaxy Universal Network. So we'll get to interview Thandisile Sidina towards the end of the show, and you also get to listen to his music.
Can't wait for that. That's going to be so exciting.
Literally, I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait to dance. You know, I mean, it's been a rough week.
Please wait to dance. Thank you.
Okay, it's okay, guys. All right, let me give you an update of COVID-19 stats as usual. Currently, we have 408,000 cases in South Africa. We've got close to 6,000, or rather over 6,000 deaths that have been reported, and also a number of 15 million of COVID-19 infected people globally, and we have 1,000 people that have died of COVID-19 on a global scale, and over 1,000 cases that have been reported in Africa.
Yeah, we know this. It's become a song. It's a chorus. More cases, more deaths, more cases, more deaths. And recovery is also going up, but the more we see deaths, the more we don't even look at the recoveries, because people are still dying, and that's not a good thing.
It's really not a good sign. I mean, it really shows that this is actually a time where every individual needs to make sure that they're playing their respective part. Stay at home if you can. Make sure that you sanitize. In fact, everyone has to sanitize. Wear your mask when you're going outdoors, because, guys, you can't say people must stay at home, because obviously people need to eat at the end of the day. Some people can't really stay at home, but if you can work from home, please utilize that. You know, you're actually very fortunate that you can be able to work from home. Think about the people close to you. Think about your family. You know, do whatever it takes to make sure that you protect yourself and those that are around you.
Speaking of those that are around you, Health Minister Dr. Zweli Mkhize actually took a roundabout, just a walk about at different hospitals, where he was actually asking nurses about the challenges they're facing. Because obviously, you know, the nurses are frontline workers, and if they are not safe, if their working conditions are not met, that means that the whole rest of society is actually in trouble. So Health Minister Dr. Zweli Mkhize actually took a visit to a couple of hospitals, you know. Yeah.
All right, actually, before we actually get to discuss about that, you know, the nurses' frustrations and everything, let's take a look at the videos.
Symptomatic client with positive time. Because of infrastructural issues that we have at facility level, we really do have a problem in our trauma unit of Southwest. Now there the patient comes, is presenting with symptoms and symptomatic. Isolation, now because of the influx of patients to the facility, it's very difficult for us. If we are going to put him in one room, for example, in one of our consulting rooms here, then we cannot allow anyone else in that room because there's a time. At times when the person needs to be referred, there's a delay also with EMS.
You know, Kat, by looking at that video, you can really see their frustrations on their faces. I mean, you can imagine these people are frontline workers slash essential workers, and we really are relying on them to make sure that, you know, we save the healthcare system of South Africa from possibly collapsing. And if they're working under such poor conditions, or rather if they feel neglected by the health department of South Africa, then that means that they won't be able to actually do their work.
I mean, you can just imagine there's so many active cases in the country, right? And so many active cases and less workers, and they're actually complaining about staff shortages and infrastructure problems. It just shows that the people that are supposed to be helping us are not being helped themselves, which then causes a bigger problem for the whole society in general.
That's true. And, you know, to think about it, Kat, there are actually nurses that are currently unemployed, you know, and I think they would use this opportunity to actually get to, you know, be employed, because there is, you know, there are shortages. But before we actually talk about that, let's take a look at the second video.
Yes.
I see. Okay.
And we are only 3 on this show. I don't think we will even have a tea or a lunch today.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about that. All right. All right. Thank you. So you're in charge for this.
No,
Mr. is there in charge.
yes. This is in charge of the water. So we are only 3 now in this show.
Oh, I see. Okay. No, thanks for informing us. We'll talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about it. But keep up the good work. Prophet told me how much work you're doing here, and really well done. I know you're working hard, but you must know we appreciate it. Yeah, we do appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right.
Also, Kat, in such cases, we only talk about nurses only, and we forget, you know, your general workers that have to make sure that, you know, the hygiene side of things in hospitals, rather, is taken care of.
Yeah, guys, there was a nurse from Torangins actually detailing some challenges that they're facing, staff challenges, like we said, infrastructure challenges, like people are in hospitals where there's not even enough people to help each other. And this whole COVID-19, people should not be in contact. So now people are in close proximity working together. So we basically just need a whole squad so you can actually help a lot of people at once, because you really don't need to be in close contact with COVID-19 sufferers.
And also there was a story about Doranginza Hospital where they said a maternity ward had to be closed because the hospital is really not in a good condition to, you know, to actually service people. And they even said that, you know, some workers even decided to strike and stay at home to actually say that the health ministry of South Africa is really neglecting that hospital when it comes to that. You know, some doctors, there were actually 6 doctors that had to do everything from cleaning the hospital and also making sure that, you know, patients are well taken care of. And you can imagine, you know, the weight on their shoulders. And there are even people that were reported to be dead on that particular day, because obviously doctors couldn't really save the same hospital at that particular day. Now, moving on to the next story. Our president graced us with a speech yesterday. He was addressing the nation as usual. You know, Kat, every time...
As usual.
I mean, obviously, I mean, right now we've gotten used to the fellow South Africans,
of course,
you know,
of course.
exactly. So people even say now, people even make memes about it on Twitter to say, guys, Uta just means a sitting room. He wants to address, he wants to talk to the kids, basically.
He's not happy with us.
Exactly.
He's just not
yes. Now
right
we
now.
must just be there and get to listen to him. But mainly, what he was talking about yesterday was obviously the shutdown of schools, public schools, and in particular. And he also got to talk about, you know, corruption that has happened from the 26th of March up until this far. We've seen on social media there have been lists of companies that apparently, or rather, some of them are not even existent. You know, you get names of companies that apparently were established during the lockdown, and it really shows, it's actually a concern, Kat, to show to see that some people are using this pandemic as an opportunity to actually, you know.
The same president did tell people to be creative, you know, so clearly people got the message wrong. People got very creative. They created companies that benefited from this. 500 billion, I mean, who wouldn't want a piece of that? I mean, again, we still have people that are earning the 350 rand, that have got 2 jobs, even 1 job. People are just, the whole looting is not just happening within these companies. People themselves are robbing each other because there's some people that don't have this money, that need this money. Yet again, we have people that have jobs that are boasting that they have salaries and they're getting 350 rand. So it's no surprise, really.
Certainly. And someone actually said on Twitter, you know, when they were reflecting after the president spoke yesterday, and they said, guys, there's corruption and there's chowing 500 million rand in 4 months.
Was it not billion?
Billion. What? Why am I saying million? Billion rand in a space of 4 months. And when you think about it, what has been done. I mean, we've seen things being done, but I mean, there isn't a lot to be done considering the fact that we had, as a country, we had 500 billion rand rather.
But can you not articulate 500 billion?
You know, guys, you know what? This is a sign. Maybe billions. Billions. I'm probably gonna start talking
Speaking
about
on the school
billions.
issue, the whole school issue of kids actually they're going on a break for 4 weeks. Would you believe that kids are just going on a break? They should not have opened in the first place. That's what people are arguing. I mean, there's been lobby groups against government just making sure that schools close because they're basically saying kids' lives are in danger right now. And it's a call that should have not been made in the first place, like the ban on alcohol and whatever and cigarettes. It was open, it's closed. Next thing is open, closed. This thing is really not helping anyone.
It really isn't helping. But you know what? You must understand that. I mean, everyone is trying, you know, by all means to make sure that they come up with solutions, which turn out later to not be the best solutions. They found out on the
spot that this was not the best solution.
Exactly, because when Mem Njimutsecha wanted to save...
Wow, you're such a student.
I'm such a student, okay, wow. I'm respecting her. Ms. Njimutsecha said that they want to save the academic calendar. What they thought about was making sure that they save the academic calendar because it was important, particularly for your matriculants, you know. But when they saw the rapid increase of COVID-19 infections and also how teachers are also being infected in this whole process, they saw the need to actually shut down schools urgently. But what about private schools, Kat?
And in his address, before we get to the private schools, in his address he did say that only grade 12s and grade 7s are exempt from the whole 4-week vacation that they're getting now. So only grade 12s and grade 11s will still be continuing because, you know, they feel like they're more important because they need to finish, rather.
They need to finish.
Grade 7 needs to finish primary and high schools, and matriculants need to finish high school, rather. So, yeah. And private school situation, guys, we live in a country where there's a whole lot of inequality, right?
And
we know these private schools are not like government-owned private, you know what I mean? So you can just tell people with money right now, they're living in their own world. We take it, they can afford to online learn or whatever needs to happen. So obviously public schools will be most affected. So it's no surprise. I
think this pandemic really showed, you know, the inequality in the education system.
The word is exacerbated, but continue.
Okay, you know what? With your terms, let's take a look at President Ramaphosa's video.
Of essential goods. Since the declaration of the national disaster, the Competition Commission has investigated well over 800 companies on excessive pricing. It has so far prosecuted or reached settlements with 28 companies, imposing penalties and fines of over 16 million rand. The Auditor General has also adopted special measures to safeguard funds committed to the fight against COVID-19. Special audits have been undertaken to detect and prevent misuse of these funds and to identify risks in the system. In addition to all these other measures, we have established in government a collective and coordinating center to strengthen the collective efforts among law enforcement agencies so as to prevent, detect, investigate, and prosecute COVID-related corruption. This center brings together 9 state institutions, and these are the Financial Intelligence Center, the FIC, the Independent Police Investigative Directorate, IPID, the National Prosecuting Authority, NPA, the Hawks, Criminal Intelligence, and the South African Police Service Detective Service, the South African Revenue Service, SARS, and the Special Investigating Unit, the SIU, and the State Security Agency, SSA. This center is currently involved in investigating allegations of corruption in areas such as the distribution of food parcels, social relief grants.
That was President Cyril Ramaphosa, the president, rather, of the Republic of South Africa. I can't say it.
Your friend, Ramaphosa.
Yes, my dad. All right, guys, moving on to the next story. Something that is, well, this one is not, it was disturbing when we looked at the video, you know, a few days ago. It's a follow-up on that particular case. You know, a 21-year-old mother that was seen on a video Kat, please.
basically smoking
Sure.
and drinking with a toddler. Like
A toddler?
she was actually forcing forcing is a big word.
Mm-hmm.
She was making a toddler smoke and drink and what for gags, basically just for fun with a friend,
fun,
and it was just
exactly.
casual.
It was casual, and obviously they were arrested for that, and they were granted bail of 2,000 rand today at in Limpopo, right?
At the Tzaneen Magistrates Court.
Tzaneen Magistrates Court, and they're set to appear again in court on the 30th of September, so that they get to review their case again. And we witness images of the suspects, rather. Do we call them suspects?
Them, the people that are making the boozed child
the
drink
boozed
also.
child. Yeah, the boozed. Yeah, the mother and the friend covered their themselves. And when I looked at it, I even asked Kat, I was like, why does she have to cover herself? And then Kat was like.
She was ashamed. She made her own child drink and smoke. I think it dawned on. For some reason, I feel like prison cells are just some things that make people just realize that they've been doing wrong. So you can just imagine the way in prison cells we're just like, what are we even thinking? Why would we even videotape such? I mean, yet again, it shows that young mothers sometimes are the problem, but let's not get into that right now.
All right. And well, when we looked at that, actually after reading the story, the child was taken away from the young mother and her friend.
Thank goodness for that.
Yes, I think the child needs to be taken care of, maybe by social workers if needs be, because clearly he was not rather in good hands. I mean, you cannot make your child drink alcohol and even make them smoke weed. I mean, if you're smoking it, great for yourself, but don't make your child smoke weed.
I mean, you can just imagine what kind of a child this child's going to grow up to be in society if he started smoking as a toddler.
Exactly.
I'm not blaming alcohol and smoking on some things, but you can already tell that the foundation was really not there, and it's a good thing that by now it's just moved from the hands of the mother.
And that's a
the
boy
friend.
child, Kat. That was actually quite a concern, that was a boy child.
Exactly.
If the child grows up to such an environment and is exposed to that, we don't know what could possibly happen by the time they get to high school.
Yep.
They'll most probably end up being the one that maybe is selling stuff at school, even even abusing substances.
Even bullies too.
All right, now to the last story of the day, we have refuse workers, right? Before you correct me.
Refuse, yes, refuse. Refuse workers, Tshwane municipal workers, they went on a strike. They want money. I mean, we know South Africa, you never just go on a strike for the sake of striking. And obviously there's a strike every 2 months. We celebrate strikes in South Africa. So it was spearheaded by the South African Municipal Workers Union. They actually want money. But of course, in South African fashion, I might say, well, maybe everywhere in the world, when people start, basically when they want something, something has to be damaged. People want libraries, they want to go open libraries, and they say they want libraries. So the workers were actually damaging trucks. They were filling up the streets with garbage and litter, and it was just something that's backwards, because they are the same people tomorrow that are going to be cleaning it up, which is just defeating the whole purpose of what they're doing.
And it is alleged that last year they were promised an increase in their wages, and they've been crying out to the government to say that, what are you doing about that? I mean, now
I think it was the year before last year, 2017.
2017, you can imagine. And now we are in July 2020, nothing has been said. So now, obviously, in South Africa, we've normalized the culture of actually going out to the streets, protesting, and even vandalizing, a property, just so you can get the attention of the government, which is something that is not right.
But at the same time, it's also a problem. It shows that government does not really listen that much to people. I mean, you can only imagine these people wrote letters and letters, spoke to managers, spoke to supervisors, spoke to this MEC, spoke to that mayor, spoke to that councillor, spoke to whoever in government, and their pleas were not heard. So the best thing they can do now is for government to listen, to just stop the economy from moving. I mean, Tshwane is the capital of South Africa, so you can just imagine the attention that they're getting, because it's Tshwane CBD. Yeah,
certainly. And yeah, we've seen that they've been disrupting property around, burning trucks and also, litter on the streets. And we don't know what could possibly happen. Maybe the government is going to respond to their cries after seeing that, literally Tshwane is on a standstill right now. They're even burning trucks. This is actually serious. Now, I'm not sure, do we still have the video, Kat, so that we can quickly go to the video? All right, unfortunately, we're experiencing technical difficulties on the other side. Now, we'll quickly go to an ad break, and after this, the special edition actually starts.
It's going Shuba in the studio.
I don't know. Did I do that right?
I don't know.
Okay, no, I'm not going to try it again. So after the ad break, we have a guest in studio where we can actually ask him about, his career, just a bit about it, and then he braces us with his presence by performing. Stay tuned.
The coronavirus outbreak.
Experience the extraordinary.
Tremendous waste and tremendous fraud.
Mexico is, in fact, you will soon find out.
It is a day to celebrate.
We don't approve at all what's going on.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily unusual.
Challenge your ordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Experience the extraordinary with StarSat.
Hello. Being a legal practitioner in South Africa in these challenging times demands lawyers that will help clients beyond legal issues. The ever-changing demands in commerce and tourism require lawyers who have sound and clear business and commercial knowledge, and that's where MB Chabangu Incorporated comes in. Our business, mining, tourism, health, labor, and economic knowledge encapsulated with law and litigation experience gives us an advantage in the legal sphere. Our experience in assisting businesses, government, and various industries with their needs puts us amongst the many progressive and striving law firms in South Africa. Now, to contact our attorneys for assistance with any of the mentioned fields and others, please call us on 012-341-4187 or send us an email on admin@chabangu.co.za. MB Chabangu Incorporated, where problems meet solutions.
Challenge your ordinary. Experience the extraordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Now, I believe that my peace is my most valuable asset.
Absolutely beautiful!
This is exactly what I was looking for.
DJ Khaled! It is a day to celebrate.
We're ready for action.
I like it when it's nice and soft. Yeah, that is nice.
How was it like growing up in Nigeria? Yes, sir. You know what it is.
Feeling is there that, you're doing something special.
Stop being so dramatic, Mira.
You should just be what you want to be.
Experience the extraordinary with StarSat.
Hello and welcome again to Galaxy Social Trends. You're still with me, Zola Gashalwana, your host. Unfortunately, Kat just had to give us some space because, as we say today, we've got a special edition. Right, on Fridays, as you know, we always feature upcoming artists, or rather people that are already making moves in the music industry or in the art industry as well. So today we are joined by Uthandisile Sidina, who is an artist, but I'm not going to say much on that so that you guys can actually get to listen to him while he introduces himself. Please just introduce yourself to the viewers at home.
Nasizwa ndinguthandisile igama lam iqaba la kuqumbe emaqabeni ngiqeqeshiwe engqondweni ingqondo iqhaqhekile ugqirha namagqirha abahlulekile ndim ndizalwa kuqumbu eEastern Cape Siswam.
Oh, that's wonderful, guys. I wish I could also do that, redo that. I mean, ndingumXhosa now as well, but unfortunately angazi ukuthi iqaba la kuqumbu. Can we do it?
Ndiliqaba la kuqumbe emaqabeni ngiqeqeshiwe engqondweni ingqondo iqhaqhekile ugqirha namagqirha abahlulekile.
Listen, I got that, Jonga. Next time when we have Galaxy Social Trends, I'll make sure that I repeat that. Now, but briefly, just tell us about your musical journey. Like, where did it all start?
Nasizwa ukucula ndiqale ndisasemncinci kakhulu ndicula esikolweni ndicula ecaweni njengawo wonke ama-artist alapha ekhaya eMzantsi Afrika.
So tell us about your musical journey right now. You told me that you actually released an album. That's something that you've always wanted to do. Tell us about that album.
I-album yami siswami ikhona ibizwa imizamo yami. I-album yami yokuqala endiphusha ebunzimeni kwi-COVID kodwa ndiyabulela ngesupport endifumanayo kubantu basemzantsi apha ekhaya.
So do you have perhaps big names that you have worked with, people that are already in this industry and making waves?
Yeah, ndijonge kakhulu ukusebenza nabantu abafana nabo Buntando kakhulu uSisahara yabo. Ewe siswami. Kusise nimthanda kakhulu endinephupho kwenza ingoma naye ngenye imini.
So what is, you know, the highlight? I want to understand. I mean, you've been doing this in music. You told me when we had a chat that you've worked with Onati Mangai, you've worked with, you know, Buntando as well. What was the greatest highlight of your career?
Mina mntasekhaya ndifuna like ukuzibona like ndipha kwelazinga ndijonge kulo njengoba ndiliqabala kuqumbu eliphuma ezilalini so ndize apha emculweni ndihlosile ndijonge kakhulu ndisazokwenza okukhulu okuphambi kwami.
That's good. Now mbuzo okugqibela, as you understand, see, jongene ne pandemic right now, which is a COVID-19, how has it affected you as a music as an artist?
Mina mntasekhaya ndingathi iyangichana kakhulu ngoba iyanibambezela kunzima inimisile and abantu ba ready out there balindele ialbum kaThandisile ba ifikelele kubo.
Okay, tell us about the song that you're going to be performing shortly, Namhlanje. What is the name of the song, and also who inspired you to write that particular song?
Ingoma enzoyicula siswami ithi ndiliqaba. Xa ndithi ndiliqaba ndizama ukuthi I'm a traditional person yabo and inspire kakhulu ngutatomkhulu ngasekho utatomkhulu Stumbi Mavima.
Okay. All right, guys, we're just going to quickly take an ad break so that we get to prepare for this amazing performance by Uthandisile. You know what? I'm looking forward to this because I'm going to feature a video because now you understand? Yes. So make sure that you stay tuned because we're coming back with a hit performance here on Galaxy Social Trends.
The coronavirus outbreak.
Experience the extraordinary.
Tremendous waste and tremendous fraud. Mexico is, in fact, you will soon find out.
It is a day to celebrate.
We don't approve at all what's going on.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily unusual.
Challenge your ordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Experience the extraordinary with StarSat. Challenge your ordinary. Experience the extraordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Now, I believe that my peace is my most valuable asset.
Absolutely beautiful!
This is exactly what I was looking for. DJ Khaled.
It is a day to celebrate.
We're ready for action.
I like it when it's nice and soft. Yeah, that is nice.
How was it like growing up in Nigeria? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what it is.
Feeling is there that you're doing something special.
Stop being so dramatic, Mira.
You should just be what you want to be.
Experience the extraordinary with StarSat. Feel the heat.
All right. To make it through this journey alive, you're gonna need someone to teach you the ninja way. Don't just stand there, kill someone!
Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat.
Welcome back to Galaxy Social Trends. If you've just joined us, unfortunately, this is the last segment of the show, but don't worry, we've got a special, performance for you by Uthandisile Sidina Namhlanje. We did promise you before the ad break that he'll be serving us, with a traditional song that will probably make you miss home and want to pack your bags with Bonaso City, Eastern Cape. But unfortunately, he covered, guys, Aivumi. So I'm going to give him a platform to actually, blow us away with his song.
Ngizozazisa njengumXhosa ngizonivumela la ngoma yasemaqabeni ngizozazisa njengumXhosa ngizonivumela la ngoma yasemaqabeni ebendinixelele nkhaya ekuqaleni ebendinikwayise nkhaya ekuqaleni ebendinixelela nkhaya ekuqaleni Fumani kwijola kwaXhosa ndithi fumani kwijola kwaXhosa ndithi fumani kwijola kwaXhosa ake nifume mani kwijola kwantuyo lelani kapala kuyo lelani kapala semakayo lelani kapala kuyo lelani kapala semakayo lelani kapala kuyo lelani kapala semakayo lelani kapala kuyo lelani kapala semakabeni asendikulale ngoma ngoduka ndiyekhaya maqabeni asendivuma le ngoma ngoduka ndiyekhaya maqabeni ndiyekhaya maqabeni ndiyekhaya maqabeni asifike ngqungqe sigide kube mnandi asifike sigide ngqungqe sigide kube mnandi ndafika beqapha imbola ayo ndafika benqunqa ndafika beqapha imbola ayo ndafika benqunqa lelani kapala kuyo lelani kapala semakayo lelani kapala kuyo lelani kapala semakayo lelani kapala kuyo lelani kapala semakayo lelani kapala kuyo lelani kapala semakabeni
Wonderful. I surely... Woo! Listen, I'm hyped up for the weekend and that was truly amazing. Thank you so much for gracing us with your amazing performance. Listen, Kat, I don't even listen. I don't know what
supposed
to
to be shot by the way.
You ended up featuring, I like the part that says, bawumamelele ngoma ingathi ungathatha umthwalo wakho ugoduke
ewe mansisi wami ndigoduke ndiyekhaya
ugoduke uyekhaya emaqabeni uliqaba wena la I truly enjoy that. I mean, I also, I felt like packing my bags and damn days to give to buy cats. All right, thank you so much for watching Galaxy's Social Trends. Let's keep the conversation going on our social media platforms. If you want to see yourself in studio, or rather you have an artist that you would want to see perform on our show, make sure that you mention that person on our social media platforms. And who knows, we might pick up that person and you could get to see that person on our Friday special editions next week. Oh, Kat, wow. Sitting. That was truly amazing. All right, guys, it's a wrap from myself, Uzola Gasholana,
And me, your boy,
just before Sivala put us up.
Ndiyafumaneka kwi-Twitter @Thandisile Igqaba, Facebook Thandisile Imizamo Yam, Google ndikhona ke Thandisile Imizamo Yam.
That's truly amazing. Nimvile ngokude uthi xa nimfuna ukhona ku-Facebook ku-Twitter ungaphinde umfumane. For myself, Uzola Gasholana, I am saying goodbye. Have a lovely weekend.